Okay, today we're going to do the first of the Anne Donovan short stories, and I'm just going to use slides that were already have been already created, just to cause it saves me basically making them. So these slides come from the Annan, I don't know how to pronounce this properly, but from the Annan Academy English Department, and the Anne Donovan short stories. It's only going to be if you're doing Nat 5. I don't think you do them at higher, so. If you're doing higher, obviously this video isn't, yeah, it's not for you, but I want to make sure that I do every single Scot text that's in the list. So, okay, today we're gonna do Dear Santa, and essentially it's just like a, a nice little kind of story um about the speaker feeling like her mom doesn't love her the same as her sister, basically. So it's just basically the speaker feeling like her mom likes her sister better than she likes her, and expressing that. And then the basic overview of the story is she starts out this way, and then by the end of the story, she basically realizes or figures out that her mom does actually like her the same. Yeah, does actually like her the same. Okay, maybe I'll just use this. Yeah. All right, so the story basically opens up. My mommy doesn't love me, so my mom doesn't love me. I can see it in her eyes. So it's just like basically uh, a kid sort of overthinking, how their parent feels about them. So mom doesn't love me, so she feels like her mom doesn't like her. Yeah, mom doesn't love her. She keeps watching television. You tuck Katie in. Katie's only 5. You're a big girl. So basically, she feels a bit jealous compared to her sister in terms of the treatment. She feels jealous of her sister in terms of the treatment that her mother's giving to her, in that her mom tucks her sister in, or she gives her extra affection, and she, who is also a little girl, the speaker is also a little girl. She's 8. Um, she basically wants some of this affection as well. Okay, so just like I said, mom doesn't love me, and so on, so on, so on. Okay, so she goes on describing the different things. And she goes on to describe also um, the other reasons why she's kind of jealous of her sister, based on kind of how she looks. And um, and then essentially the sort of key moment in the story is uh, it's Christmas Eve. The shops park over in Debenham queuing up to see Santa. So basically, the speaker and her family, obviously, they go to the shopping center, if you like, and they go to the town, and they go and see Santa Claus, and uh, he says to her, "Okay, what do you want, basically, for Christmas?" Kids ask Santa Claus for wishes. So he says to her, what do you want for Christmas?" Okay, and um, close up, I can see Santa's beard is fake. The glue is dried on his skin, so she can kind of tell he's not actually Santa Claus. He's fake. But anyway, she's really, really, really desperate for the wish that she has. So despite kind of having an idea that Santa Claus might be fake and the whole thing might not be actually, real, she is extremely desperate for this wish to be to come true. And so he asks her, "What do you want?" So she follows along with it, and then she says, "I want my mom too, or mommy too." Uh, what did she say? Want me to, ta ta. And then she says, a big lump formed in my heart, heavy and like a stone. So she obviously wants to tell Santa Claus that she wants her mom to love her the same, or wants her mom to love her. She can't say it here because she gets too emotional. And so what happens is she writes a letter. Okay, she writes a letter to Santa Claus. And dear Santa, please, da 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 da. I fold the papers. Da, 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 da. Okay, so she writes here, um, dear Santa, please could I have a Barbie doll and a toy dog? So she's not saying what she actually wants. She's not saying what she actually wants. She can't really get out the phrase that she actually wants because it's such an emotional sort of thing for her. Please, could you? I would like, if it's not too much bother. What is it I'm trying to say? Could you make my mom love me? That's basically what she really wants. Could you make my mom love me? But she doesn't write it down because she feels like maybe it can't come true, so she's really intensely, damaged and hurt by sort of the belief that she has that her mom doesn't actually love her as much as she loves her sister. So the mom comes into the room. Mom sits on the bed beside me, takes a clean bit of paper, writes it down. Okay, please can I have a Barbie doll? I'm a good girl, love Allison. So Allison's the name of the speaker. Da da da. Okay, mom, how come you've got fair hair and Katie's got fair hair and mine's is brown? So she starts to talk to her mom, and her mom says to her, you take after your dad, Katie takes after me. So in a way, I guess her mom's making the wrong moves. Her mom's basically, in a way, generating more of this negative sort of fantasy, if you like, this negative idea that the speaker has in her head. Her mum is sort of contributing to it by, saying these type of things, essentially saying that you take after your dad. You're not like me, actually. You're more like your dad. I wish I had fair hair. How there's nothing wrong with brown hair. I wish I had hair like yours. Mum smiles. Go to sleep. Okay, she bends. She gives me a kiss. And it's really interesting, I'd say obviously it's a very simple kind of story. Kid feels like she's left out, however. And night Alice, night Mama. She goes at nuclear. Da, da, da. Okay, huh. So I was wrong about the resolution, actually. I was wrong about the resolution. There is no as far as I can see, there's no resolution at the end where she actually feels like her mom actually gets, her mom likes her as much as she would like her to. So that was a mistake. It's been a while, yeah, since I taught this text or read this text, but anyway, it's a very simple text. The kid feels like the mom doesn't actually care about her, love her as much as she loves her little sister. Sibling jealousy is, quite common. Um, what was I gonna say? The interesting thing about this text is it gives you a nice window into the what you could say like the psychology or the sort of inner mind of even like children. Um, and one very interesting thing about, children is that children are extremely, aware. Children are obviously ignorant of the reality of things. They're ignorant of the actual nature of reality and of the world and all that. And that's a good thing. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. That's a good thing. It's partially why they can be so happy all the time, which is good. Yeah, that's how they should be. They should exist, in my opinion, in a state of ignorance for as long as possible. I think that's good. But children are extremely aware of the people that they care about, especially their parents, and especially the sort of um, things their parents say and the things that their parents do, even despite their parents not like maybe their parents don't have any specific intention behind their actions, or maybe they don't mean the the way that these things get interpreted by the child. Maybe they don't actually mean them. But it's a very good and very it's a very kind of interesting and good thing to pay attention to, in that children, even small children, are extremely aware of how you treat them, especially if you are like a parent or, a close person to them. Um, and so like parents should be very aware of how they talk to their children, how they interact with them, and should be careful not to even by accident do things which would damage their, the important parts of them. For example, their self-esteem or their self-image or their self-confidence or their security. Um, and I can demonstrate this very easily, beyond the story. So it's very easy, if I said to you, what's something that you can remember that really hurt you? Something that maybe one of your parents said to you when you were younger. Do you have any memories of them saying something to you that you can still remember that and that thing hurt you? It's very likely that probably everyone could think of something like that, right? Um, Despite you at the time probably not even knowing exactly the meaning or the full having a full picture of what was said or what was done, but it stays with you, right? And the thing is, it shapes you and it shapes your identity in terms of your self-image and your personality and everything. So it is extremely important that and I know this myself, as a teacher and as a, mentor, if you like, to younger, younger people, young students and all that, um, young people around me, that your words can be extremely powerful, and your actions and the way you treat people, especially young people, can be extremely powerful. positively or negatively. So it's important to make sure you maximize the positive and minimize the negative, essentially. I think that's extremely important so that you give the kids the maximum chance to become, you know, balanced, well-adjusted, happy, and confident adults. I think that's extremely important. So anyway, her mom's making all the making all the wrong choices. Her mom's making a bunch of mistakes. Um, and she's just confirming the negative way that the kid feels instead of like fighting against it. She doesn't pick up on the fact that the kid said, "I wish that my hair was like yours." And she only says to her there's nothing wrong with having brown hair, but she doesn't say to her your hair is beautiful or your hair is amazing or anything like that, yeah, which would have been more useful. Okay, anyway, so again, the key of this sort of story is that the kid feeling that her mother doesn't, love her as much as she loves her sister, and wishing that she did, essentially, yeah, wishing that she did. Um, yes. Okay. Um, yes, and that's it, yeah, wishing that she did, basically. So, and again, just a good lesson in terms of, general sort of child psychology and, for people who are in positions of responsibility with children, just sort of a good lesson overall. Okay.